Hey, welcome, welcome. How are you doing tonight? We have got a great show. Robert, are you out there? I hope so, because we want True Crime Cult to come up as a guest on panel. If he's available, let me put the link in there for him. There we go. So what we're going to do tonight is I am going to actually share one of my videos that I have done previously because it's had a limited number of views. I've got a lot more people now. Oh, there's Mumsy. Mumsy's in the house. Mumsy's in the house. I have a lot more subscribers. So a lot of people might have missed this one. And I think it's very relevant what we're going to talk about. And that's a lot. It's more of especially in particular to how police collect forensics. So like what's normal? And my basis for what's normal is using the knowledge I have gained over many, many years reading Patricia Cornwell's novels based on the character Dr. Kay Scarpetta, who is a medical examiner and the main character, and how she runs her office and what the crime scene investigators do when they work within her jurisdiction. So that's what we're going to go over, and I won't explain any more about it because we're just going to watch. We're going to watch it here, and I explain it in the video. So present. Okay, so whoops. Move that over. All right. Wait, why isn't it sharing the screen yet? Okay, let me give it a minute. There it is. Boom, it's popped up there. So the name of the video is What Would Scarpetta Do? Which is apropos. There we go. So I'm just going to let it play. And if you have thoughts while this is playing, please write them in the chat. And then I can pause it. I can mention what you're talking about, or we can add to what's being said in the video. All right. Let's make sure the volume's all the way up on that. It is. Here we go. Hey, how are you today? Thank you so much for joining me. And are you ready to ramble? Of course you are. I'm so excited for you to join me. It's going to be a great show because what we're going to do is like a little bit of a thought experiment. And looking at the Idaho 4 case through the eyes of Dr. Kay Scarpetta. And if you don't know who that is, it's a fictional character by Patricia Cornwell. And obviously, well, she's an author, and I love her books. If you don't know about her, you can go find out later. I encourage you to look her up. And if you've never read her books, but you're interested in true crime, then start with the first one in the Dr. Kay Scarpetta series, or just Scarpetta series, which is Postmortem, because the characters, their relationships and everything, they evolve over the series. So I highly recommend starting from the beginning if you've never read them. They're while they're not true crime, it helps you have a better understanding of crime scene because this was before CSI, and you know the TV show and things like this. Forensic TV shows, movies, and things weren't a thing, and she really was a groundbreaking in her novels, which are extremely well written. But it's not just a fictional story, while the story is fictional, but the details she puts in her book. Doing a little bit of buffering there. While it's buffering, if you've read Patricia Cornwell, please let me know in the chat, or if you're watching on replay, put it in the comments if you're familiar with Patricia Cornwell and her novels. I got some nice decaf coffee here. There we go. At least I'm back. Still waiting for the video to continue. Maybe I should just refresh the video. Anyway, my cat mug is, the handle is like the tail, is what I was going to say. Mumsy says that I have read almost all her books. I like how she writes. There we go. She's definitely a favorite of mine. My goodness, why is this happening to me tonight? There we go. I don't jump to like halfway through the thing. Let me bring it back. All right. Let's start here. Load again. I just reread the last one that the last Scarpetta in the Scarpetta series. I just read the last book again on the Kindle. I'm totally into Kindle now. I didn't think I would be when the Kindles first came out. I'm like, you know, when collecting forensic evidence, in order to. But I love my Kindle. I love the way I don't have to turn a light on in order to read. That's probably my favorite thing about it. Oh my gosh, I keep getting notifications in a group chat. Leave me alone. Speak for the victims. That's what her stories are about. So I encourage you to check it out. So I thought, why don't we look at what we know about the Idaho 4 crime scene, and what would Scarpetta do? Let's just explore that idea. Yeah. So I got a little slideshow to kind of get us going, just to kind of keep us online, keep us focused. Cassie. So how would Scarpetta work the scene, right? Is it Cassie? Of the Idaho. The other one was, well, first of all, she would arrive at the scene because nobody touches anything until she looks at the bodies and looks at everything in situ, right? In the situation as they are. And anybody that would be working within the jurisdiction of Dr. K. Scarpetta is going to know that. She's going to make sure that all the police officers and all the first responders know that, number one, their job is to lock down the scene. There's nobody collecting evidence until after she gets there and sees the bodies. right? So those officers lock down the scene, and they don't touch anything, right? There'll be an officer posted at the door with a sign-in sheet. Did these things happen? Well, obviously we know that the coroner, because the coroner and the medical examiner in Idaho, or at least in this county, are two different people. The coroner had no reason to go because, yes, the bodies were dead. You know, there was no question as to whether or not someone had died. All she needed to do was sign off on it. And the medical examiner that did the autopsies, hey, Chalet, it's okay.
Yes, there is a little bit of rehash. That's why I didn't want to spend too much time talking when the show started today, because I knew that I was going to explain some of that again in the video. So I just said a little bit before playing. But the rest of this should be new for some people. And Robert, if you're here, then make sure there's a StreamYard link at the beginning. If you don't see it, then let me know, and I'll post it again.
Michael Jackson groove on. All righty. Well, the only thing you missed was me explaining who Dr. Kay Scarpetta is, which is a fictional character by Patricia Cornwell. And this is the first slide that I've made to keep us focused on what we're talking about. So yes, the medical examiner in the Idaho 4 case was in Washington. And so I don't think they went to the scene. I think they only did the autopsy after when the bodies were taken to them. So the police and the investigators and the FBI were the ones and so you had the Moscow police, the Idaho State Police, and the FBI. I believe those were the three forms of law enforcement that were present, and they controlled everything. The medical examiner did not, was not involved at all, which would not have happened if it was under Dr. Kay Scarpetta's. I'm just going to call her Scarpetta. If it was in Scarpetta's jurisdiction, the crime scene would have been locked down.
Yep.
And officers know not to touch anything. The officer at the door with the sign-in sheet, so nobody goes in without signing in. People that are going in need to have personal protective equipment, PPE, before entering. At a minimum, booties over their shoes. But depending on the crime scene, they could put on the whole thing. Gloves. Minimum, you've got your gloves, probably something over your hair, and booties on the shoes. But in some cases, you might need to put an entire suit on. And so nobody is. Obviously, the first responding officers would have to go in not knowing what the scene was. That there were, they would need to leave and lock down the scene. The crime scene investigators that collect all the trace evidence, that take the photographs, all of this, would wait for her in order to see those bodies in situ before they start collecting any evidence.
That's the way she.
So we know that did not happen. That is not an across the board standard. Scarpetta's standards are very high. And she works very closely with people that she trusts in law enforcement, in particular, Pete Marino.
And Benton Wesley.
And with the FBI in the form of Benton Wesley, who then later in the series becomes her husband. So anyway, So that's arriving at the scene. So that's definitely different than what happened at the Idaho 4. So once she's there at the scene, what is she like looking at? Well, in a case of stabbing, she's definitely taking a look. She's not collecting any evidence, but she's making note of the blood splatter and what that tells her, of where blood is pooled. You know, like if the body doesn't have a pool of blood right there, but there's a pool of blood somewhere else, and then some drag marks, well, it's likely that the person was killed there and then moved, right?
Oh,
So
Chalet in the house
what a,
and queen in the house.
you know, where is blood pooled? Bloody footprints or the absence thereof, because when you've got two rooms on different levels that each have two victims in them, and make no mistake, you know, stabbing deaths are very bloody, and not just the person, but the walls, the ceiling, that blood. I mean, and as the knife goes in and then comes out and then goes in again, that the motion this way is bringing splatter that way and then back and yeah. So there's all kinds of different the blood can tell so much, and she wants to see exactly where that blood is in relation to the victims, because as a medical examiner, when she is going to talk about the cause and the manner of death and be able to piece together what happened to the victims, give them a voice, that's part of what she needs to know. Of course, after evidence is collected, she can always refer back to the case file and also experts that have given their done their examinations and look at their findings. But she's going to want to see it for herself, and that's going to tell a big part of this story. This is a piece that we don't have, you know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But going between whichever room had victims first, there's going to have to be footprints going from one room to the second room, whichever was first, whichever was second. And so police have to know at least which room, if not the victims in the room, who was killed first. That has to be there. They can't be so stupid not to know. And there has to be footprints. If there's not footprints, then
So
somebody cleaned them up. The narrative by the police is that a single killer, who they believe they've arrested, maybe he did it. But according to their narrative, he did it in less than 10 minutes. So he didn't have time to change clothes or put extra booties on. I mean, even if it doesn't matter which room they did first, it's going to have so much blood on him that you can't just put booties over your shoes and then walk out.
You'd be dripping.
That there's still going to be a lot of other blood dripping off of you as you're walking. You know, he didn't have time. There was no time. If what the police say is correct, and it was done in less than 10 minutes, there was no time. So there would have to be.
That's a big if.
Blood from the killer. I mean, not his blood, but blood dripping off the killer between the rooms. And if there's not, somebody had to have cleaned it up. We don't know. Hair. So like, what are some of the forensic evidence that would be collected at the scene? hair? Is there any hair from the killer that has fallen out, and or maybe a victim grabbed some? Because by the way, this is of the scene. We'll get to the bodies next. Fiber, any fibers from clothes? Was something torn? They're going to be looking for fiber, and she's going to be looking to see if there's anything obvious. And then the crime scene investigators that come in to collect all the evidence are going to go like really, really. But Scarpetta, if you read any of the novels, which I recommend you do, she's got a good eye. And she quite often notices things that other people might overlook.
Yeah.
Right.
So she'll point them out.
Drains. She would definitely look at the drains herself and then make sure that those drains are every drain in the house. She would make sure that they test, and even if they have to remove an entire pipe, or like, the trap part of the pipes, whatever they need to do to see if there's any indication that the killer might have washed their hands or tried to clean up in some way, right? She would be looking at the doors and the windows. She would be thinking about, how did this killer get in or leave? Are the windows locked? Are the windows open? She's definitely going to be looking at those. She's going to be taking note of food or medicine in the bathrooms, on the dresser. Are there any kind of medicine bottles that indicate they were taking any kind of medication, so that way she's aware of it when they do toxicology, right? She's going to be looking at that. She's going to be looking, is there, she doesn't know about the grub truck yet, right? But we know about the grub truck, and they got their food to go. Did they just eat it in the car, or did they take it into the house? And if so, is there this empty container or a full container that was never touched? But she's going to want clues, so that when she gets back into the autopsy and finds food, what stage of digestion any food in the stomach is, to help determine time of death, right? So she's going to be looking around for any remnants of any food, any indications of food that they may have eaten, and as well as medicines that they may have taken. She's obviously going to keep her eyes open for any weapon, and any restraints, or any restraints used. She's going to be looking at that. So those are just some of the things that she would definitely be looking at. Okay, now moving on to the bodies. What kind of forensic evidence is Scarpetta going to be doing there at the crime scene?
Graphic warning.
She's going to make sure that a PERC kit, which is a physical evidence recovery kit, usually used for sexual assault, that those standards are being adhered to. So she's probably not going to, hey, Andy in the house. Andy in the house. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, where's Andy today?
We're just going over the Idaho 4 crime scene, and
where's Robert?
Case Scarpetta.
On panel with me.
Scarpetta, medical examiner in the Patricia Cornwell novels. What would she do? And we're just starting with this slide about the bodies. So one of the things about the PERC kit, so while she would not be administering it on scene, there are certain steps you need to do on scene to protect that evidence, right? Which are kind of part of the kit. One of the things would be to cover the hands. They would bag the hands, because if there is any trace evidence of scratching the killer, and it's under the fingernails, they want to make sure that when the body's being transported, that's not lost. So that's one of the first things with the bodies, is that they will bag the hands and the feet, and on scene, that that's pretty much the biggest part of the perk kit.
Okay. So Andy, if you're listening and you haven't had a chance to say that you're here in the chat, can you just let everybody know that you're here, because everyone's asking for you. And if you're just listening because you're doing some work or something, then, you know, you can't see the comments. So that's why I want to take a moment and do a little shout out, Andy. If you are watching or if you're listening, can you just take a moment, let everyone in chat know that you are around? Okay, that's all. Continuing.
Because like scraping out the fingernails, under the fingernails and stuff, that's probably going to happen. Although it could happen on the scene, but it's most likely to happen in the lab. So she's going to be looking at factors that will help tell her the time of death. So I've made a list here of some of the things that she would be
And so
looking
these
at. One,
are like really, really important factors. If you don't know about these, you might have heard of one or two or three, but have you really heard of all of these different ways now that are being used to determine time of death? We all know about body temperature, using a long thermometer to put in the liver and then calculating that. But there's many other factors that can all help narrow down that time of death. And so we're going to be looking at this. And please share your comments with me. If you have a question or anything, then let me know. All right. Oops. I'm here to play.
pallor mortis. That's when the body turns white because the blood is no longer circulating, and start to happen within 15 to 20 minutes. Liver mortis, which is also known as lividity, that's when the blood settles because the blood is no longer circulating. Gravity will pull it down in whatever position the body is in at the time of death, right? It happens within 30 minutes to 2 hours. The first stage where blanching still occurs. So you can like push down on the skin so you've got the discoloration, the modeling of where the blood is settling, and if you touch it, like if you touch a bruise or if your skin's red, if your skin's red and you touch it and it goes white, and then when we're alive, it goes back, the blood comes back, but it's white just for a minute, right? Or if you have edema or something where you have swelling and you push down on the skin, and does the indentation stay or does it go back to normal? So the blanching, you can still touch it, and it will, and the blood will like move away from where you just push down, right? Because it's not solid yet, right? So as you push down, it's still liquid, and so it'll still go away, move away from where you pushed. So that's blanching, right? With it gets less and less closer to the 2 hours, but after about 2 hours, that blanching's not going to happen anymore, right? So if they're still blanching, then you know that person died most likely less than 2 hours before. It becomes fixated after 6 to 12 hours. So if the police weren't called until noon, they're saying that the body. So one interesting thing here is that like 2 hours in a lot of these the difference between 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., when you're counting back, let's say the first responders get there at 12:30, the medical examiner gets there an hour later, say 1:30, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So like 9.5 hours later, there's a lot of these signs that she's going to be able to tell how long previous, you know, there's, she can figure out time of death. So anyway, the liver
Thanks,
mortis
Queen.
is important for time of death. It's also important for the position that the bodies were in. And were killed, and then the lividity would go to the back, but someone rolled them over on their stomach. Well, we would know that they didn't die on their stomach. So
There's Andy. Andy in the house.
right.
Look at everybody saying hi to you, Andy.
Okay. The liver. Okay, so we all know about the temperature, right? And so they will insert a thermometer into the liver, and there's a calculation that you do. I didn't want to, you know, there's a calculation that you have to do between the ambient air temperature, whatever the temperature is, whether it's cold or warm or whatever, and the temperature of the liver. This is called algor mortis, by the way, technically. And so, yeah, they figure that out, and that gives them a window of the time of death. Yeah, Chalet's doing laundry. Get the music going. Another thing that she would do is make sure that the vitreous fluid of the eyes is intact. Insert a needle in order to extract the vitreous fluid, and then they can do whatever they need to do to help establish time of death through the vitreous fluid of the inner eyeball. Another thing, though, is the corneal cloudiness. So your corneas will get white. On the length. In this case, I don't think the putrefaction would have been that advanced yet within those 9 hours, 9 to 10 to 12, right? If it was 2, it would be closer to 12 hours before. But stage of putrefaction, which is of course decomposition of the body, the organs starting to liquefy, things like that. That is a way that they help establish time of death.
Everybody's showing emojis of coffee. Mumsy, do you have some coffee? I have some coffee. And Mumsy, you're the only one that didn't check in with coffee. And I hope you guys know that, like, I'm sharing your comments more on the screen rather than actually saying something for the most part, so that we can hear and we can listen. But of course, as right now, I can pause it anytime if there's something you want me to talk more about or you have comments about, like the cornea clouding. I didn't realize that they use that as a time. I mean, I know that it after somebody dies, but I didn't know that they actually use it as one of the indicators of time of death, or one of the factors in order to determine time of death.
Contents.
Stomach
so
contents.
This would be when she gets to the autopsy. But digestion happens generally between 1
No coffee
and 3
for Mumsy
hours,
yet.
right? Of the last meal, of the time of the last meal known, right? So, did they have any grub truck food? Now, see, this would be really important.
This is very important.
If it was 2:30, no, 1. Everyone was supposed to be in the house by 1:45, right? So the grub truck was 1:30 that they left the bar and stopped at the grub truck, if they ate that food right away and weren't killed until 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, right? Then those stomach contents would be mostly digested and into a brown fluid. If there's still chunks that weren't digested, then they would have been killed right after, they ate that food.
Huge.
Right? Take that into account with pizza, for Xana and Ethan. They were said to have been eating pizza, or at least that's what when they talked to, I believe it was Xana's dad, that's what they told him, that they were eating pizza and it was around midnight. Right?
So the pizza should be digested.
So the digestion, and did she have food delivery or not? From the DoorDash. So all of those things, the stomach contents would be extremely relevant in establishing the time of death in this case. And the last thing I want to mention as far as time of death is insects. The blowflies will come and start laying eggs within minutes. Now, those eggs might not be, visual, seen by the naked eye, of course, but later, especially if it's a case of days that you're looking at, those larva stages of those blowflies can really help establish a time of death, or at least was it 2 days ago or 3 days ago? So I think in this case, insects aren't really going to be as big an indicator unless it's like how many, because if they're already attracting blowflies within minutes, what is it like after 9 hours or 7 hours or 6 hours or 10 hours? I don't know all this stuff, but Scarpetta does. And if she doesn't know exactly, she will call in the experts.
I'm pointing out what she would be looking for.
So some of the other things to be looking at as far as cause and manner of death, the petechiae hemorrhaging, I don't know if I say that right, but that's when in your eye, if you're strangled, then your eyes, the blood vessels in your eyes burst. And so were they just stabbed, or could they have been strangled first? Any of them? Blunt force trauma. She's on scene. She is going to be checking for any blunt force trauma, any bruising, any broken bones. She's going to be checking for that, and the wounds themselves. She's going to get a general look. Obviously, the body's not cleaned up yet, like it will be in the autopsy. So she's not going to be able to count the exact number of wounds. But she's going to be taking a really good look at the wounds. At a first glance, do they look like they're all the same weapon? Do they look like there's different weapons? More than one weapon. She's definitely going to be looking at that on scene.
Yeah, because she wants to help direct the law enforcement and the crime scene investigators in what they're looking for. So if she can look at in the case of stab wounds, that there are two different types, and so like maybe he was using one knife and it broke, and he grabbed and he pulled out a second knife that was a different kind of knife, and then she can tell them, I think you should look for a second weapon based on what I can see here at the scene of the bodies. Now, once she gets in the autopsy, she's going to examine everything much more closely and be able to tell more specifically what type of knife was used, or what type of blade. I should say, it might not be a knife. It could be an axe or something. And she'll be able to tell more specifically. I'm going to take a peek at what the dogs are barking at while this continues.
All right. And if you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, please feel free to like ask.
Yes, it's amazing, Queen.
And so my last slide, I didn't actually like really get to like think it out and write a lot, but I just wrote a couple of notes. So when the bodies are then brought in for the autopsy, because once she's seen everything she feels she needs to see, then she will clear the crime scene investigators to start collecting evidence. And if there's anything that she's seen of note that she wants to make, she'll say, make sure you get pictures of this, make sure you collect
Gibbo in the house.
Gibbo
in the house.
And she will identify anything that she took note of to them. She will communicate it to make sure that it's collected and that she has it. The labs have everything that they need.
Gibbo, if you want to, we just talked about on the slide before this. Well, we've gone through 2 slides before the one here about autopsy. The first one was like on the scene, what you're collecting on the scene, and what you're looking at and things like that. What's normal procedure, and then we were talking about collecting evidence. I guess we've had 3 slides. The scene, the evidence that you would be looking at collecting, and then third was the body and like time of death and stuff. So I would invite you, since we're not that far in, you guys know about, let's see, you can see my screen. If you click that little wheel and you can put playback speed on like 1.5, and then you can catch up to where we are if you want to. I do that sometimes when I'm on somebody else's live and I've missed something and I want to see part of it. I'll put it on 1.5 and then go through. I could probably put this on 1.25. I think I was talking slow. Anyway, here we go.
To help with the crime, solving the crime. So when they're at, so she's turned it over to the crime scene investigators. She leaves, and usually she's not the one driving the van to take the bodies to the morgue, but she'll meet them there. So when the bodies come in and they're checked in, and they're brought in for their autopsies, I think I don't need to go through a detailed description of everything they do. They weigh the organs, they make the Y incision, they'll do the cranium to look at the brain and weigh the brain. When they're done, then they pull everything back down. But so once that body's cleaned up and she's able to examine stab wounds, puncture wounds, incisions, whatever form it is. Yeah, lovely. I know, right? That's why I had a warning on the thumbnail. Okay, this one's graphic. She's going to look at all of that, and she'll know exactly what type of blade was used. She'll be able to tell how long the blade was within a millimeter or two, because how deep did the blade go? Was it double-edged or single-edged? Was it not lacerated? Serrated? Was it serrated or not serrated? Was there a hilt or not a hilt? Ew, yeah. But not the sheep. So there's a lot that she's going to be able to tell, and tool marks. So if they are able to find a weapon, they will be able to match the tool marks of the weapon. Same way with ballistics, with guns and bullets. They'll be able to match a weapon based on the tool marks that it leaves, in particular with bone. And at least in the case of Kaylee, where we're talking about 53 or 54 stab wounds, and her being just eviscerated, then they were able, there's going to be ribs and sternum and maybe collarbone and maybe down, depending on the length of the knife and they're stabbing, there could be tool marks in the spine. She's going to look for all that. She's going to run toxic. It is always important, whether or not they had any drugs in their system, whether it's like recreational drugs or if they were drugged by someone in order to commit this crime. There's so much that the body can say through toxicology.
Okay, so in answer to Queen's question, let me stop sharing this for a minute. And this is a lady. I don't know what kind of dog she is. But a story about how I got her. She was abandoned, and I found her and I took her home. That would be for another day if you haven't heard it already, but that's Lucky Lady. And then let me stop sharing that one. And this is I know you can't see Popeye very much here, and it's not you, it's blurry. But that's Mama Kitty when she was a baby, and he actually took over. So like when I don't know if you guys know, but if you have to bottle feed a kid, they can't poop, and so you've got to like massage their little belly and stuff to get them to poop, because you're taking the place of the mother who would be licking their belly, moving the bowels to help them poop. And Popeye would do the licking, so I didn't have to do that. But okay, let me end that one. And so the other thing that I can do, let me see here, my channel. Let me look at my videos. It would have been a video. It would have been a long time ago, probably. Oh no, that's Lucky Lady. Well, I can share this tab and you can see. I know for all of you that are only here for the forensics. And nice story, Andy. The folding chair trying to get up on stage. Kind of feeds. Oh, whoops. Oh, you see them both in this video. That's awesome. Let me share. I got sidetracked looking at comments. Oops, tab. Lucky Lady swims. Here we go. Let me go back to the beginning. It's still kind of low. It looks blurry because it hasn't like loaded fully. Let me play it and see. What a good puppy! Enjoying the water. She's learning how to take a swim. So there you go. That was just a little quickie. Oh, then I can just share this tab instead. Okay, before I hit play, let me catch up on the comments. Andy kind of pulled weeds and did maintenance work and painted at both places. So kind of something. All right. Put you to work for a good cause. Is this has something to do with the stage? Weed pulling can be satisfying when you're angry. Good one, Chalet. Queen's saying the dog's cute. Everyone's saying hello to Gibbo. LOL, not with this rambling bunch. Okay, whatever it was I said. You're terrible for that or food talk. So pretty. Yeah, they're pretty. Where is True Crime Gold or are they invisible? I don't know. I don't know where he is. It didn't show up. But we had talked about this like on Monday that I would do this live on Thursday. And I thought about sending him a message on Discord and a chance. I didn't get a chance to do that on send him a message. So cute. Love the doggy. Where's True Crime? Robert, where are you? But if he arrives, I'll bring him on panel and he can share. I thought it would be really nice. And I also asked Tony the nurse if he would come on panel. Excuse me. No, you didn't miss. Oh, you missed his show? You came in just as the ad went off. You always have perfect timing, Andy. He owes me $1 million now. Woohoo! That sounds great. You've watched a few hours. All right. So yeah, that's the current stuff. So let's continue with this video. What are we going to learn about forensics and how it would apply to the Idaho 4 case? Please share your comments.
So she's going to be running tests on
questions.
And then she is going to be going over that body with a fine-tooth comb, literally, and looking for trace evidence from the suspect. This is where she's going to be scraping under the
fingernails,
the nails. She's going to do the full perk kit. You got wound, this kind of wound. She's going to be looking for sexual assault as well, just to rule it out, if nothing else. And let's mention here, when we're talking about toxicology, she's going to care very much that police found a dog in a room next to the victims, right?
I think Murphy the dog is the most understated piece of this case. There's so much. I'm not gonna go. There's some thoughts that I was having that I didn't express as we're talking about Murphy, but I'm gonna play this and see what I say, and then hopefully I'll remember what it was that I didn't get to say, and I can say it here, because Murphy is big, I think. And I think it's a lost opportunity, except for maybe by crime scene photos, or if they had body cams. Obviously, we know that they have body cams. Did they have them turned on through all of the house? Then we could find some of this information from a body cam or from a video, if they actually took crime scene video that would come out like in trial that hasn't been released to us. But yeah, Murphy the dog, missed opportunity there, because so much could have been learned from Murphy, I think.
She's going to care very much about that. And she would be going, whether she does it herself or whether she instructs a veterinarian to help her, I guarantee you, they would, those little fine-tooth combs they use for lice? She would be having either a professional, like forensic groomer, or veterinarian that would be like going through, because if the killer is the one that put the dog in the room, they might have left some evidence on that dog. That dog might have stepped in something. Was there blood on the paws? Was there blood that had been washed? Maybe someone washed the dog, but they got like little fur in their paws. Is there? She would be checking that to see, is there any blood in the paws of the dog that would indicate that the dog had been outside of the room after the crimes had been committed.
So Andy, I want to share your comment here. Still wonder why or how the killer went in and out with people there, some awake. You're absolutely right to question that. Normal killers would not leave people awake if they know they're there. They're not. They're no. So either she didn't see anybody and she's making all that up to try and do some kind of timeline thing, or they were in on it, or he didn't walk past her, or she wasn't even in the house, or something. There's got to be an explanation, because it is not. It is right. What they describe happening, that a killer is just going to walk right by her and out the door. No, that doesn't happen. And Snow, where are you, Snow? Gibbo says, I think they have to switch them off, don't they, when the body is concerned? Oops, I missed switch what off? I'm sorry. Oh, what, the invisible cloak? Oh, because at Gandhi, Gibbo was responding to what I just read from Andy, saying, oh, was there an invisible cloak? And did they just turn it on and switch off the invisible cloak or something? Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2. So fishy. What are you counting down, Chalet? How long it's going to take me to realize something was already said? Body cameras. Gone with the Wind, fabulous. Yeah, where are you talking about? The police body cameras, or do you think that the killer might have been wearing a camera to record what he was doing? That's a horrible thought. I mean, it's certainly possible. Which housewife was that? What am I missing? You guys are like just having fun chatting, which is great. I'm glad you're having a great time. Rolling in the wind in Canada in the winter. True crime cult. Oh, Snow. Are you guys talking? Oh, I get it. Because Snow's name is Snow. You're making jokes about the snow coming in and etc. Okay. Love fishing. Call Atlanta. Kendra Ray, Gone with the Wind, fabulous. Okay, you guys keep chatting. I have no idea. No, exactly. No. Okay. I'm gonna hit play.
Because we don't know when Murphy, the dog, went into that room. We don't know. All we know is that at 12:30, the dog was in the room.
Right. The police found the dog in the room.
So, is there any evidence of urine or feces in the room? Because the dog being in the room for that long, nobody taking it out for a walk. If it was in the room the whole time, right? And it would also indicate, for example, if they came, the dog may have been removed at the time. Absolutely, might not have even been in the house. Not much follow-up since the guy got arrested. I think traveling with his dad. Yeah, not much follow-up at all. Yeah, icky poo, by the way. So you've got like what you could find from.
So let's think about that for a minute, about the timeline of Murphy, and like, so that the girls went out, and like, what we know that they got back around 1:45. What time did they leave? Do we know what time they left to go drinking? You know, so let's say they took Murphy out to do his business before they left. So then when they get back at 1:45, Murphy's got some business to be doing. So if they get home and nothing is awry, and they take Murphy out to do his business and they bring him back in, then it's very likely that he did not have any accidents in the room. But if they got home and they got, you know, they got accosted and attacked before they had time to take Murphy out, then there's going to be accidents in that room. If no one else was there, Jack Decor never came over, right? Now, Dylan wouldn't have let the dog out, right? There were, I mean, I know there's been some talk of somebody saw someone looking for a dog. Was it somebody looking for Murphy? Was it because Murphy had run out? Was it somebody looking for a different dog? I mean, there's nothing, we don't really know any solid information on that. And like, exactly, was that at night? Was that in the morning? But the evidence would be in that room. And if she had put, if Kaylee had put Murphy in the room and then was going to go to sleep and share the bed with, was it Maddie and Kaylee, right? So if Kaylee put the dog in the room and was going to sleep in the bed with Maddie, then she would have put at least a bowl of water. Had she put like a bowl of food? Was there a bowl of food or not a bowl of food? Was there a bowl of water, not a bowl of water? You know, was there any traces of blood in that room where, like, if Murphy had been out when they were attacked and then somehow was put in the room after? I mean, I can't imagine Murphy not barking his head. I mean, the smell, we already know. See, that's the other thing that bothers me about this case is the smell. And it would have permeated everywhere. And so not only is the smell of blood going to drive a dog absolutely crazy, in addition, the smell of his owner's blood is going to drive him extra crazy. And not only blood, but there's the smell of death in addition to the smell of blood. I mean, he would not have stopped barking until he like passed out dead. And then, so was he drugged? What's his toxicology? I guarantee you they didn't take a blood sample of Murphy to see if he was drugged or not. You know, Murphy's Law. Ricky Allen's toilet toffee face. What? Oh my gosh. And Gibbo, what do you say? Don't leave you with these crazies. You're just as crazy. You're the one who started the toilet toffees. Yeah, I see where you're coming from now. Hey. All right. Let's, speaking of animals, I'm going to let this play. This is the Rambling Maven show. It is. You guys are absolutely welcome to have fun. I want you to have fun. Have fun while I hit play. And I'm just going to turn off my camera for a minute while I go take care of the animals. Plus, rumor has it that Coburger has colitis. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. You love it here. Great, Queen. I'm glad you do. Yay, fun. No haters. If there were haters, I would block them. You know, if they were getting really nasty. I know that raid was actually kind of fun because I was like just bantering and like not letting them get to me. And I just had to mind that the YouTube algorithm doesn't know that these guys are a raid. All the algorithm sees is that there's all of a sudden I went from like 4 or 5 people in the chat, you know, watching live to like 30 people watching live. You know, and they're going to push me out more. The algorithm, they're going to share my video to more people because there's all these people in here, even though they're the raiders, you know? So I wanted to like let them hang out as long as I could, but poor Chalet was like absolutely going bananas with them because felt that I wasn't responding to her when I was like, I'd put up a comment and like point at the comment and like kind of do some kind of sign language thing because Lemoyne was talking but you were like listening or something. I don't know. I think you didn't see my sign language, but we're past that. In the night, okay, wait, let's see. Colitis. So in the 90s, he had that. So Raven, and now we have the Rambling Maven. Yes, I'm the My mom sometimes she'll write in the chat. She'll go, you know, Miriam, you're rambling again. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's called Are You Ready to Ramble? What's tonight like? What's not to like, rather? Okay. Missed the raid. Let me, Adam, hold my beer. Yeah, Andy. It was fun. I was kind of having fun, you know. And then they got bored with me because they weren't pushing my buttons, so they all left. They said the raid's been called off, and they all disappeared. Oh my gosh, it was great. I with the exception of Chalet's feelings being hurt, that was not great. But the rest of it was great. All right, I'm hitting play. Take off your earrings. Okay, I'm gonna see you, and I'm gonna just turn off my camera just for a minute, for about 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. I gotta go take care of the animals. All right, here we go. From the dog, let's say, okay, Maddie and Kate, it's Katie's dog. They're out drinking. When's the last time the dog went for a walk? Like, how long had they been out drinking? You know, if I'm a dog owner, right? I think we all have fur babies. The first thing you do when you get home, before you even eat the grub truck probably, is take Murphy out for a walk. Let him relieve himself, right? If the dog, let's say, for example, the killer was already in the house when they got home, which some people say that's a possibility, right? And so had she left Murphy in that room when she went to go drinking, so it wouldn't be running all over. So in case people, because party house, people come and go, people know the code. Witnesses that have said over the time, you know, over the time of them living there, that quite frequently someone would be out, Murphy, calling Murphy to come back because Murphy had gotten out. So let's say she puts Murphy in the room. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just exploring possibilities that forensics could tell us about. If she put Murphy in the room, she comes home and is ambushed immediately before eating anything. She doesn't even touch the grub truck food because she's ambushed right away, right? Then
nobody lets Murphy out because everybody's asleep, according to Dylan. Everybody's asleep, right? So then Murphy's been in that room until 12:30 when the police get there. From whatever time they went and started drinking, there's going to be poop and pee. The dog can't help itself. If there's no pee or poop in that room, then someone has taken Murphy out to relieve himself. And the dog was most likely not in that room for that length of time. Was there food and water in the room? Was there a water bowl and a food bowl? Which would indicate that maybe Kaylee had set him up in that room. If there's not a food and water bowl in that room, it's very unlikely. I can't see Kaylee, and where she would have to have a food and water bowl somewhere, in the bathroom, in Maddie's room. Where was Murphy's food and water bowl? I'd never thought about that until just now working through this. There was a YouTube channel covering Gabby Petito and a truckie girl, Kylie, Rodney, and almost nothing on the two girls at the campsite in Idaho. Correct. I can picture their faces. No, but Utah. It wasn't Idaho. They were in Utah, in Moab. Crystal. One of them was Crystal and something, were the two girls at Idaho. And you know, another really strange one I just learned about today, her name is Nancy Ng. She's from California. She went for like a yoga retreat in Guatemala with 11 people, a total of 11 people. Yes, or 10 or 11. The first couple of days went fine. Then they're supposed to be for 7 days. So like on day 5, they go out on this lake for to ride kayaks. They're all riding kayaks. And then she disappears. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but it would make a whole show. I just watched a thing about it today. But everybody, so the owners of the kayaks, like everybody comes back except for Nancy. They don't say a word. Like they've already had like a vow of silence kind of thing about whatever happened, right? They don't say a word. They don't pay. They just get to shore and everybody leaves. The owners think, well, this is weird. And so the next morning, they wait until the next morning to call the hotel to get paid, you know, and she's told that they've left, as in left the country. But their flight wasn't until the next day that they were supposed to leave. They changed their flight.
Do you guys even want to hear about this?
And they tried to deny that, but then
should I move it forward?
Investigated and found out that no, the 22nd of
make it faster.
Maybe December. Was it just last month? It was recently anyway, but the day was the 22nd, but they had their flights back and they changed it to the 21st. So on the 20th, the day that they went out kayaking, they immediately changed for the quickest flight, which was the morning of the 21st. And they all fled and left. And then they didn't cooperate. They didn't report her missing. They didn't cooperate with authorities. Family kept trying to contact people. They just were radio silent and stuff. And so they're still trying to find Nancy Ng and find out what happened to her. The kayak last seen with one last kayak that paddled back alone. Yes. So you've heard about it. This is the one. And the kayak owners saw everybody had come back except for 2 people that she saw going away because the water started getting choppy because it's really big. The lake is so big, it's kind of like an ocean, right? And it's got currents and it's got waves. And you know, it was still in the morning when they went out, but it would start getting choppy. And the owner was like, I'm so glad they're coming back because it's getting dangerous. But 2 of them were going out, and then only 1 came back. And then that person finally, after 4 weeks, was like, oh yeah, you know, she decided she wanted to get out of the kayak and go swimming. She wanted to go see where it was like so deep that the water changed color, and so that's why we went out that way. And then she wanted to swim in it, so she got out of the kayak and then she drowned. And so then I came back. So fishy, and she's a public defender. This woman that went out
the leader organizer was a yoga instructor, yes, and Nancy herself was a yoga instructor. But and then there's all kinds of stuff about this yoga instructor guy. People, yeah. So anyway, that's a really I think that and the family I think has raised money to go with experts that can operate like a sonar machinery thing that's like that. It's kind of like Adventures with a Purpose that does the diving that found Kylie Rodney's car and her body inside it. And they paid a search and rescue, like ex-Navy SEAL type people with helicopters and everything. And they flew over and they had divers and they did diving, but they had no clue. It's a huge lake. They had no idea what part, because that public defender lady, Christine, I think her name was, hadn't come forward and gave the thing about the like where the water changes color so that it's deeper and all that. So they were like having to like cover the whole lake, and they didn't find anything. And finally, I kept the whole time I'm thinking, what about the kayak? Did they find the kayak? And they did end up getting the kayak. Not sure where though. And then there was something about how they found the paddles, because that witness that went off with her and came back alone said that she was like, I don't know, no. I don't think anything about the paddle. We should pay attention. I think we should care about.
What happened? Why is it not? Oh, it's buffering. It's buffering. I'm just looking up Nancy Ng to see like if she was found.
That. And so the family's going to go down there with the sonar
hasn't been
people
found yet.
and see if they can find
there's no
her
news
in the lake. But Murphy the dog, wow. So we're like, so that could possibly be motive for the silence and invasion of the group. Absolutely. And she was like really super positive and friendly and had a lot of charisma. And I'll tell you, there's people in life that hate happy people. And so if you're this funky, perky, friendly, happy person, they could hate you just for being yourself, just for being happy.
Yeah, people hate you just for being happy.
Yeah, Chalet says yes. I got that right. I know. I figured you could identify that with some of the things you've been putting up on your content.
I was stood up by
I don't know who
Star.
Kathy and Frank, no, Fast Eddie and Kathy. I have no idea who they are, but see how everything's unfolding that you're sharing.
You don't have to behave, Queen.
Anyway, some people are beyond
have fun.
Stupid. I mean,
why do I sound like Minnie Mouse?
That's so weird.
Because I put it on 5.5.
But I was thinking, you're talking about stupid people. I had
back to Idaho 4.
In fact, let me see. I think I have it right here.
Yeah, Andy, voice control speed.
There, I put up right here.
I'm speed watching it. Yeah. You make no promises. You don't have to be a star to be in my show.
Don't know where it is. I had two things that like memes that I printed out, and so this is one of them. Oh, you can't read it. It says, "Sir, one more outburst and I will strangle you with my microphone wire," which was one of the lines from that scene. But I had another one that was the scene of The Sixth Sense, and you've got Bruce Willis and the little kid, Haley Joel Osment or whatever, and it's like the scene when he's telling him, "I see dead people," but it says, "I see stupid people. They're everywhere. They don't even know they're stupid." Yeah, just telling you straight. Love ho, you give them the business, Shell. That's right. Oh, so trace evidence, including Murphy. I think the police completely overlooked Murphy. I think they didn't consider any of this, but I can tell you, Dr. K. Scarpetta would have viewed Murphy as a key witness. Porcelain doll characters are awesome. That's right, Chalet. I love it. You make all the different little voices for all of them. They're sometimes I think those must be really valuable, and you just play with them, Meow, meow. There's Artemis. She's going to call all the Disney people up. Oh my gosh. I know you said something about like, yeah, your husband, my husband works is a Disney cruise boat operator, and I'm a NASA scientist and all this. And I'm going, really? I didn't know that. And I thought, oh, wait a minute. I think she's being snarky. It's called sarcasm.
No, you're a shooting star.
Oh.
Don't you know?
I don't know why the TV just, there we go. it wasn't my computer, but the TV screen blacked out for a minute and then like restarted.
Sense isn't that common these days. That's so true.
Yeah, she doesn't get sarcasm. Yeah.
Oh
You've
no,
mentioned
you missed all the fun, Gibbo. Keep in. We're still having fun. Glad you're back.
So, yeah, trace evidence from the suspect. There's so many places they would be looking for it. She's going to tell your husband. Like your husband doesn't know what you get up to. Of course he does. Oh my goodness. Okay, Scarpetta. Do we have any more thoughts on Scarpetta? You know, with the blood splatter, we've totally used luminol. And there was a motive for the guy that they arrested. Oh, was there a motive for the guy that they arrested? Okay, so in the Idaho 4 case, they arrested Brian Koberger. According to the police, they believe that the motive would be that he was an incel, involuntarily celibate, or we would normally just say like a geek or something.
Beavers did it.
Anyway, incel's the thing nowadays, and that he was an incel, that he became obsessed with either Kaylee or Maddie. Maddie definitely worked at a vegan restaurant, or a restaurant that was popular with vegans. Right. They might have had other things on their menu, but they had a lot of vegan things on their menu. I don't know if the whole restaurant was vegan, maybe.
Because we're kind of done. That's the end of the slideshow, and we're just gonna like rehash stuff that we've already talked about. So, let me stop sharing the screen. Here we go. So, oh, the Disney cruise ship thing. Yeah. You know, she was saying that, and I knew that she was. Well, no, at first I was like, really? I didn't know that. And then when she said the rocket scientist part, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I see what she's doing. Oh, goodness. So I hope that people, that you guys have enjoyed looking again. I mean, I really wanted to have True Crime Cult here giving his comments on his thoughts about what I was saying. That was kind of the point of, well, there were 2 points. One, I was thinking about doing this anyway, so that people who didn't see it the first time around might, you know, some new subscribers or something might be able to see what I had talked about before. And then when I was talking with True Crime Cult, I said, hey, well, why don't I do this with you on panel? And then you can be giving your comments as we're watching the video, because he does that a lot on his channel, where he'll be playing a video and then pausing it and making his comments and stuff, like kind of like what we did. And so, yeah, I had been thinking. Chalet says, well, I was told that I was a cruise ship singer by someone. Oh, I do. I think I saw that comment, because whenever I'm watching your shorts and there's comments, I always go check what those comments are. Well, some of your videos are regular videos. But you're going to call them out next time. Oh, goodness. Oh, Queen found the beaver emoji. Oops. Every time I go to click on something, then someone else writes something new and it moves up. And so then I click on the wrong one. I click on the one under it. Now True Crime Cult owes me millions. Yeah. Oh. All right. Yes. So you guys are having fun. So I don't want to end your fun. Is there something else you guys want to look at? Have you guys been watching Karen Reed now that I've been saying how addicted I am to it? I have to finish watching yesterday's afternoon. And now we've got new new testimony today already going on, and I didn't even finish. I stayed up until like 1:30 or 2 watching, maybe even 2:30 yesterday. And then I finally gave up. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I'll just have to watch replay later. But that's as far as I could get. Are you running Annie? I don't know what you mean. Fair is fair, Billie Jean. Oh. But I am definitely addicted to this Karen Reed trial. And oh my gosh, Jennifer McCabe. I mean, she was so angry all the time and argumentative. And you know what? It's like the more she escalated, then the more the defense was just right there keeping pace with her. And then they would just they would attack her more the more she got defensive. Well, because she wasn't even being defensive. She was being on the offense. She was just, oh my gosh, her behavior. I'm wondering how often a witness in a trial ever has that kind of behavior. She was friggin' off the rails. And oh my goodness. And then after her, then everything kind of came back down. Then people are acting like normal witnesses again. Time is money. Money is time. Absolutely. But it's not YouTube time. Not for me anyway, as I don't have 500 subscribers yet. But it's been going up. I'm up to 350. Yay. She's not your lover. Oh. Music. You want to be? Hey, do you guys want to play? I'm doing good. Okay, she's just a girl. She's just a girl, right? Give me lyrics, and I'll try to sing them. Billie Jean is not my girl, not my lover, just a girl. Don't give me any Michael Jackson, because unless it's like ABC 1 2 3. Yeah, you can try to stump me. Let's see. She's just a girl in the world. That's all they'll let her be. Isn't it? And that's no doubt. It's like, she's just a girl in the world. That's all they'll let her be. Something like that. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Yeah. You do such a variety. The Neil Diamond was nice when you did Neil Diamond. I enjoyed that. Sorry, Shell. Ray, gonna need some proof of this kissing a girl. There's no photo. It didn't happen. Oh. But I'll do my best to sing little lyrics. That means you guys got to type. I think you guys have proven that you're good at typing. Stay tuned and keep watching, Maven. Me keep watching? Or everyone's supposed to keep watching me? Cherry chapstick? I don't know that. Cherry chapstick. But I do have my kissing potion somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know if it's over there on my vanity desk or if it's here somewhere. Could be in this little tray somewhere. Look. Not there. I think it might be over on my vanity. The taste of her cherry chapstick. I don't know that one. I kissed a girl once. Now I have a daughter. Keep watching you. Oh, everyone's supposed to stay tuned and keep watching me. Okay. Watching Chalet and Maven. It felt so wrong. It felt so right. I don't know that either. You guys are stumping me. You guys are winning because you're stumping me. Oh my God, those were the best kissing potions. Let me see if I can. Ta-da! Gwen Stefani and Katy Perry. You can, I don't know if you can see that. Kissing potion, cherry. Can you imagine how old this is? And it's still great. And remember, because it's got the little roll on, you had to kind of go, to get it loose so it'll roll. Oh my God. It smells and tastes so good. Imagine how old this is. This is probably from my friggin' high school. This is probably 40 years old. Well, not that 40. Yeah. Oh my God. Mom was saying yesterday, 58. I'm going to be 58 June 13th. So yeah, 40 years ago, I would have been turning 18. Oh my gosh. Can you believe it? That's crazy. Let's see. Gibbo says, I used to run home when I was in school to watch Hollaback Girl. If I was late, I would not be happy. Hollaback Girl. Hollaback Girl. Obviously, it's a UK thing, but let me see what I can find. Oh, that's Gwen Stefani. Oh, so you wanted to see the music video. Got it. Here, I can share. Wait. Maybe. Let's see what else everyone's saying. I miss those so much, Maven. These are hands down still my favorite. Yeah. A few times I've been around that block, Gibbo. Very good year. 40 years ago was a very good year. It was a very good year. Are you doing lyrics? When I was 17, it was a very good year. Yeah. Running to Maven's to get her gloss. I'm gonna hide it. It's mine. You can't have it. Cambodian woman awoke to find her lip gloss gone. Ain't no hollaback girl. When they invented the Gaga lady, that was it. I was in love. Aww. Odd news. The lip gloss was 40 years old. Hey, they don't make things like they used to, do you? I mean, this is still good. I should use it more often. Well, then it would be gone if I use it more often. But it actually doesn't. It looks good, Okay, so share the screen for the hollaback girl. Google search. There we go. Alrighty, there you go, hollaback girl. No. Oh, a rare appearance by Silky. Silky. She's kind of feral. Silky. Baby, I don't know if you can see. Baby, she's kind of got a ringtail too. And you can see her tail. Baby, come here, baby. Yeah, Rare Appearance by Silky, which is spelled Sylkie. Probably poisonous. I don't think so. I think it's just fine. I think I used lip gloss as a paint remover, Andy. Don't know why. Why did they stop making those? So sad about it. I don't know. They should bring it back though, with all the Gen X, revival of things, right? They should definitely bring it back. It was Maybelline, right? Ocean roll on lip gloss. Oh, it was Max Factor. There we go. Max Factor. Hostess Pies. You were a tad jealous of Bradley Cooper and was glad his character unalived himself. Won't lie. Yeah. You know what? I got to say, I absolutely loved A Star is Born with Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand. That was my generation's version. I believe there were two other ones. There was maybe Judy Garland or something did one, and there was actually one before that. And then this is the fourth Star is Born. And so I definitely wanted to see it and kind of compare and contrast. And I thought it was fine. The movie was fine. They're too lazy to make the good stuff now. Hide the tuna. I got to tell you, every time I'm like, I'm thinking cat versus chicken, cat versus bacon. When I'm preparing something, I'm thinking, where's my phone? I should like make another cat versus things. Oh, Grady's au gratin chips. Oh my God, so good. That does sound good. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husband. Dirty deeds. Yeah, does that look familiar? There it is. Does this one? Oh, it's eBay vintage rare. Oh, look, no, this says Maybelline. Why did something else say Max Factor? Yeah, I thought it was Maybelline. That is exactly the one that I have. There's a knockoff called, because Max Factor did a knockoff called Lip Potion. Instead of Kissing Potion, it's Lip Potion. Yeah, but it's got to be Maybelline. So we are going to go to all. Here's something called Tinte Cosmetics Original Formula. When did it come out? I tried in 2022. I tried Kissing Potion lip gloss from the 70s. The roller ball works great, and the smell is undeniably bubblegum. Oh my God, bubblegum. Yeah. The gloss itself is clear, so you could wear it on top of any lip color. Yep. Rollerball lip potion is back. Now it's organic, natural, and as ultra shiny as you remember. Same company, organic bubblegum rollerball lip gloss kissing potion. Wholesale. Okay, I gotta look at this. Oh, there's on eBay, there's juicy watermelon. Oh my God, that sounds so good too. $4.25, organic and natural. So it's just called Roller Lip Potion. It's not the actual Maybelline. But you could try it out and let me know if it lives up to Kissing Potion. Made in the USA. You may also like watermelon, cotton candy, strawberry, bubblegum. Made in Florida. Hey, This place is in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, 34240. If they're near you, Chalet. You guys got to order some and then let me know how it worked. We'll do a show just on kissing potion. What are you guys saying? Just yum. Maybelline. Years and years ago. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's Maybelline. Absolutely, Gibbo. Maybe she's she's worth it. That was a hair product. Somebody send me some lip glosses. Okay. Must find those kissing potions. It's a few hours away. Remember first discovering lip gloss. Just saying. I remember being in 6th grade. 6th grade, Murphy Elementary School. And kissing potion had come out. So this would have been 1977. And so we'd put it on and then, we'd go kiss the boys out when it was recess out on. Yeah. I think we'd make them close their eyes. We'd tell them close their eyes and then we'd kiss them. 6th grade. It's 11 years old. Oh, it might have been. Okay, so I'll look up the worth it thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Gosh, share this tab instead. I hate when I do that. All right, guys, this moves. Well, that's interesting. That's what I was looking at. Watermelon, cotton candy, strawberry, bubble gum. Well, you can get a tester for $2. Why bother? Just $4.25. Get yourself one. So there you go. You can see that. Now, I think it's because I'm worth it. I'm worth it slogan. For 50 years, L'Oreal Paris has been delivering this message that, or because you're worth it. Images. There you go. It's L'Oreal. We can skip dessert. Yeah, Queen. Well, we'll take those kissing potions for a test drive. Whoa! Whoa! We need the ones that taste good. Mary Kay lip gloss was the best, but it didn't taste good. You will when your money comes in. Okay. Skip dessert. Oh, you're gonna get some. All right, Chalet. I'm expecting a report from you. And then if you want, Mumsy, I don't know, Mumsy's still here? Mumsy's still in the house? She said she didn't know if she was going to go past an hour. We're just getting into good stuff here. I should send her a link to that. And then she said she's getting a box ready. Oh my gosh. Kiss boys, how did we survive the cooties? I know. I always spelled it like this. Cooties. I'm not saying that there's any right or wrong way, but that's what. LOL Maven with our Alyssa Ashley perfume. Woo! Should we put that up? Should we look at that? Musk perfume. Ah, there you go. I like musk. You know what I like? Shalimar. I can't find Shalimar anywhere. I don't know if they stopped making it or what. Shouldn't argue with you, but you'll be looking up the Maybelline. Yeah, no, please do. Please do. If you can find the original, go for it. But at least we know we've got a backup. I'll be kidding my Rich with them. Okay. Yes. Kissing. Okay. You'll be kissing Rich, the king and the queen. If you're a good girl, you'll send me some. Yay! And you can send them to my, and if it's easier, you can send it to my mom, and then when she sends a box, she'll toss it in, because I can't imagine. I mean, it would probably be like $20-$30 on the shipping just to send the lip gloss, so, but if she's doing a box, then she can throw it in. Or you can make a care package box, throw in lots of stuff, throw in the Pop-Tarts and things and whatever you want. And I will do an unboxing show. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe you can coordinate it, Chalet. You know what you could do? This is just a thought that just came to me. is you could coordinate with everybody that they send you the stuff and contribute $10 for the shipping. And then you got 5 people contributing $10 for the shipping. That's $50, right? So everybody's only paying $10 to ship me one. So there's one box coming to me, but everybody's contributed $10 instead of one person paying $50 for shipping. You know what I'm saying? So I just a thought. If you wanted to coordinate something like that with people. Yeah, so I'll try to be a good girl. Effing spell checker. That lip gloss kept the cooties away. Oh, you guys all got kissing buddies, huh, Andy? No homo, gotta close your eyes. Yeah. Well, they're 11-year-old boys being kissed by girls. Yeah, cooties were still like on the mind back then, right? Yeah, because and then we were like testing them to guess what flavor it was. They had to guess what flavor it was. The stuff probably killed anything. Black Pearl is rare also by Liz Taylor. You have some. You collect perfume. Ooh, nice. I've got there's my perfume. My signature perfume. It's not made anymore. Replique with an accent. It's not replica. Don't show me replica. Give me this one. Still showing me replica. It was a French perfume. I mean, trying to think where that is. If I get a visual on it, then I could go right to it. Because I'm not finding. This is not it. It's discontinued. Usually only send to Chalet, and Chalet sent to Maven. A send train. Yes. Andy, honestly, you will love those gloss. They taste so good. You'll send black country stuff. Oh my God. Yeah. Send me Jaffa cakes and Jaffa rolls. Jaffa. You'll spray your letter with the perfume. Yeah. And then I can smell it. That's awesome. Cootie still in the mind. School discos were deadly, especially with my moves. We totally had disco dances. And it was like a big deal to have in 6th grade. When we're 11, we're not even 12 yet. And that's just like, we're not even 12 yet. And then there was some slow dances. Yeah. And then in junior high, when I was 12, they were teaching us how to do the Saturday Night Fever dance. I remember that, kind of like a gym class kind of thing. I still remember that. Yeah, UK stuff. I find it interesting. I never buy myself like lotions and things like that, but then like I've got this one. It's like from the UK. I don't know if you can see. Stop screen. Morning Glow. And a friend of mine is from the UK that's here in Cambodia. So anytime they go or they have family or friends coming back or something, they always bring me back they bring me Jaffa cakes. And then they also do the so I'm putting some of this lotion on. He brings me like lotions and stuff that I would never. One of them was like an anti-aging thing. Put the gloss on and kiss the letter. I used to, I put lipstick on to make a lipstick mark for sure. Did you do that with your mirrors? Did you write with lipstick on the mirror? Your bedroom mirror? Not the bathroom mirror, because everybody uses the bathroom, but your bedroom mirror? I did that. I wrote on my bedroom mirror. Still love Tranquil Moments by Avon. Smells so good. Oh yeah. I had I loved Avon. I couldn't wait to like get the new little catalog. I wonder how much money they spent on printing all those catalogs. Think about it now. And Gibbo says in high school, he went crazy holding hands. The cooties had taken over by then and you were too far gone. Oh, goodness. Yeah. That's cute. Oh. I went to 3 different high schools. I did freshman and sophomore year at Kennedy High School in Fremont. Then I went to Milpitas High School for the first 6 months, and it was fun. I did marching band, which was cool. But like Spanish, that's the counselor that wouldn't let me take French and made me take Spanish. And then I was getting an F in Spanish. So my grades weren't really that great. And so the second half of my junior year, I went back to Kennedy High School. And then my senior year, I moved to live with my dad and went to my senior year in Georgia. Your mom loved Avon's Mesmerize. My mom finally just recently told me that like when I was growing up, I was always it was Jatame or something. Let me see. Beauty products. Is it? No, it's not that. It was yellow. Well, that's yellow, but I don't think that was it. Anyway, so there's this thing. I think it started with a J, and you'd be like at the mall. You know, when you go like to Macy's or Sears or something in the mall, and they have the makeup counters and the lotions and all the beauty products in those counters, and they got all the tester. Well, there would always be like these little gift packages, and there was the powder with a puff on it. And every year for Christmas, I'd get her a box of this, or for her birthday or whatever. And then she told me she hated that scent. But she never said anything. So I don't. And then same thing with yellow roses. I thought she loved yellow roses. And then she told me like somebody had given her yellow roses or whatever. And then and then she didn't like that guy anymore or whatever. And so then she's always hated yellow roses. I'm like, what? Say Obinya. I don't know why. What is that? Obinya. I don't get what it's supposed to sound like. Queen says, I grew up JW. I wasn't doing nothing with no one. Oh, Jehovah's Witness? Yeah. We only had dances in high school. Andy says, we only had dances in high school, but we had dance parties at our houses like almost once a week in 8th grade. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Danan was a good friend of mine. Danan. Je t'aime. Oh, with a J-E maybe? Okay, let me try. J-E space T. I see that one. I don't know if that's what it was. It I just remember it was like yellow and black. Yeah. No, not these. I don't. Jovan Musk for men was go to sure. Oh, I'm not going to say that. Oh, those were nice. The powder ones. Yeah. A peony scent. Haha, it's black country means how are you? Oh, okay. It's black country. How are you? Oh, black country. So wait, I got it. Obinya is black country for how are you? Obinya. All right. Means how are you? Oh, goodness. Gibbo says to Queen, my high school girlfriend was JW. Once her mom found out, I had to walk her everywhere. Right? And is JW Jehovah Witness, or are you guys talking about something else? Mackey by Bob Mackey. Fox. Sorry, Giggy duties. Oh, Gigi. Gigi, I know you're. That's your grandma name. Hi, Talon. That's all right. You do what you got to do. Yes, Gibbo, you hear that. Oh, once her mom found out, you had to walk her everywhere. Okay. I'm not so aware of the dynamic of what's happening. All right. Well, it's been 2 hours. Yes, Maven, it is Jehovah Witness. Okay. So if somebody's Jehovah Witness, their mom makes you walk her everywhere. I mean, is that like you have to walk her everywhere because she can't go in a car? Or is that you have to walk her everywhere because you have to be her protector? That's why I say I'm a little confused with the cultural reference. I mean, I know what Jehovah Witnesses are. My ex-husband's brother was Jehovah Witness for a while. I mean, I don't think he is now, but he was pretty heavy into it. Yes, her mom was very strict with me, but I liked it to be the chaperone. Okay. Hey, Talon. He's so cute. Hey, Talon. He's so fine. Your sister-in-law's JW. All right. I'm guessing you're just writing JW because it's faster and you don't have to type the words out all the way. Like good to see you. Every time I see GTSY, I always have like Gitsy. Oh, good to see you. Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah. And I have to like think about it. But I am getting a little bit tired. I think we've had fun here at the end of the show. Anybody who watches a replay and just watches the beginning, like the slideshow part, and doesn't, I don't know. They probably would never make it to this part. And I don't know. I think it's one of those you had to be there things. If you're just watching all of this as a replay, it's probably extremely boring. But when you're in it and it's happening live, it's lots of fun. You always have to have a chaperone. Took you a while to baby. I didn't say baby, I said Maven. Oh, it took you a while too, Maven. Okay. I don't know why your voice recognition put baby instead of Maven. Loud. Another Freudian slip. Very strict. Yeah. Had to earn her mom's respect, so you had to walk her everywhere and carry her bags. Did you have to walk the mom everywhere or walk the girlfriend everywhere? Wait. So, read along with me. My high school girlfriend was JW, Jehovah's Witness. Once her mom found out, I had to walk her everywhere. So, like, you had to walk the mom everywhere and be her slave? Is that... Oh, goodness. All righty. So you guys, all you guys right now, right here, having fun, that love really does transcend time and space. So for everybody else, whenever and wherever you're watching this, I love you. No holding hands. Well, we're past all that now, aren't we? So you can hold hands if you want to. I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. Okay. What a great note, literally, to end on. And oh my gosh, it's the weekend. So tomorrow night, there's an event. So I definitely won't be on tomorrow night. But I don't know, if I feel like it, I'll pop on. If you guys are subscribed, have the notifications on, then if I pop on, you'll know about it. Usually not even allowed to date unless old enough to get married, and only with the intention of getting married. Yeah, I think there's some Southern Baptists that are like that too. Yeah, love to everybody. Thank you for your hearts and all your emojis. I had lots of fun with you guys tonight. And if I decide to just relax all weekend, then I'll see you again on Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. And whatever is happening, we'll talk about it. And hopefully by next week, is this weekend Memorial Day weekend, or is that next weekend? I think my daughter is supposed to help my mom with the Yellowstone pictures, so that we can set up having a lot, doing a travel vlog with the Yellowstone. But I think that's Memorial Day weekend. So that's coming. All right, guys. Bye.